This next gentleman is one of the most recognized creatives in our industry. He is the 2024 jury president for the Sustainable Goals from the UN category, and he is the co-founder, president, and the chief creative officer of We Believers. Give a rounding rounds of applause for Gustavo Lauria.
Thank God I don't see anything here, so it's fine. I have all the lights in front of me. I want to start this presentation with a very important announcement. 2 weeks ago, I became a father. Thank you. And now that I'm a father, I still believe that building a better future for our kids shouldn't be the main driver to do sustainability work. To me, when it comes to sustainability, it's not about the future. It's not only about the future. It's about the now. Now we are living in a very challenging time for humanity. If you check the last report from the UN, we are really, really far from accomplishing the Sustainable Development Goals. So to me, we should stop talking only about 2030 or even less, 2050, and focus on our own Sustainable Development Goals for 2024, 25, 26, 27, 28. Every single year, we should be very conscious about the impact of our actions on people's lives, innocent animals, and the planet. I was very conscious about that since we opened the agency together with my partner, Marco Vega, back in 2014. That was something that I had in mind all the time. I knew that that was the opportunity to do the kind of work that I believe in. And we started a new project from scratch. That picture that you see on the screen now is a post from Anne-Christine Diaz. She was at age at that time, and that was a post showing the tattoo that I have in my arm with the monogram of We Believers, symbolizing that passion that together with Marco we have for our project. I was completely obsessed with the project, and I was completely obsessed with the idea of giving back to the people and building brands at the same time, back in 2014. But 1 year later, the UN created the Sustainable Development Goals. And I read every single article and every single report, and I watched every single video about it, what I found online to learn about it, and to see what we can do based on the goals. And very quickly, I realized that there were some key things that we wanted to focus on. I realized how important it is, the ocean conservancy, because healthy oceans not only offer food for the people, but also are one of the most powerful tools to fight the climate change. Healthy oceans absorb more than 30% of our carbon emissions, and that's why we should protect them. The other sustainable goal that in my opinion, was key was responsible consumption and production, because we work in advertising, so we have plenty of chances to work about that. So that's how 1 year later, I came up with the idea of the edible six-pack rings. I wanted to create a replacement for plastic, something that gives people the opportunity to keep drinking the same beer that they love, but with no plastic waste. And at the same time, most importantly, give the brewing companies the chance to connect with those environmentally conscious consumers with something very tangible for them to buy. That image that you see of the turtle with the plastic ring around was all over the social media. And I wanted to create kind of the opposite of that. The six-pack rings that feed animals instead of killing them. So that's how we started developing the edible six-pack rings. I share the idea with my partner, Marco. He's right there filming. Marco has a background in engineering, and so he was the one putting together the team of young engineers to develop the first prototypes. And I was the one in charge of editing and writing the video to let people know about it. And then something amazing happened. Our client decided to post the video even before we finished it. And one of his contacts at that time on Facebook was the president of the US Craft Breweries Association, and he reposted. And we got 5,000 shares in 30 minutes and lots of likes and stuff. And we knew that we had to react very quickly, but we didn't have any money for a PR company, zero money for media. Imagine we were a young agency with 1 year. So we just had our computers, and we were looking on Google for the names and the emails of the main editors on the biggest media out there, and we sent emails one by one to each of them, pitching the video, pitching the idea. And in a few weeks, we got an insane amount of impressions. We were in every single media, BuzzFeed, CNN, Times Magazine, any media that you can imagine. We were on TV with Marco. It was 4 a.m. in the morning. I was very nervous. This accent, you can tell, it's a very Argentinian accent, so I'm sure that British people didn't understand one single word that I said, but we were there. National Geographic selected the edible six-pack rings as one of the biggest creations to fight plastic pollution. We won a really good amount of lions, pencils, and stuff, but that was the beginning of the whole story. The edible six-pack rings completely changed Saltwater Brewery, our client, as a business, especially after they signed their contracts with the major cruise lines. But on our end, we kept the patent, we kept the IP, and we patented the idea in every single continent. Now, 9 years later, we can tell that we have sold rings to more than 400 breweries around the world, from the very small craft breweries to the very big ones that are part of AB InBev and Diageo. We invested and reinvested money on the application machines. The big money went to the fast application machines, because when you create rings, a new kind of rings, you should be able to offer the fast application machines for breweries to be able to use your rings. And then the typical question that people ask, are you guys making a lot of money out of this idea that won at Cannes 10 years ago, and it grows and grows every year? Let me tell you, we reinvested all the money from E6PR, and we invested money from We Believers as well, because when you do innovation for real and not just to win at Cannes, there's always room to keep investing on more machines, more people to work for you, and innovation to make your idea a big reality. But when you do great work, great clients come to you. And that was the case of Fernando Machado. Fernando Machado, that's Bruno, it's not Fernando Machado. I hate those parents who share pictures of their kids all the time, but this is a very special kid for me. It's my only child. So I wanted to share another picture. That's Fernando, and that's Fernando and myself during our very first formal meeting to talk about Burger King. And I'm a very proactive guy. I'm always writing and coming up with things and proposing ideas. And during the first meeting, I shared the idea of the Caos menu with Fernando and with Marcelo Pasqua, just by saying, you guys create menus for us, for humans, all the time. So what if we create a menu for cows? Why for cows? Because cows fart and burp all the time, and every time that they fart and burp, they release methane, which is one of the key contributors to the climate change. So if we can create some kind of food for cows that help them to digest better, and we join forces with other companies and we scale it, who knows? One day maybe we can fight the climate change. And Fernando and Marcelo said, that's great, man. Let's do it. That's amazing. We really want to do it. And it's all about farts and burps. And farts and burps are very Burger King and zero McDonald's, so we will do it. But that let's do it didn't happen for several months. It's not easy to implement something like that. You know, like Fernando is one of the best clients that you can imagine, but it's not easy to implement something like the cows menu. So together with Marco, we decided to keep moving forward with the project. And after doing some research, we decided to go to the Global Convention of Animal Feed. And we took a plane, we went to this small town in France. Marco is laughing there. And we went to this small town to learn a lot about the food for cows, and at the same time to meet two of the most important, the most recognized scientists on the field. And that's how we met Horacio Castellan, that's the guy in the picture. He was one of the main speakers. And I still can't believe that I was trying to give direction to a scientist. You know, that's how we are. Creatives are, we are very stupid. And I told him, hey, sir, pretending that I was respectful. You know, I said, hey, sir, you are the expert. You know much better than us how to do it. But if I may, I have a couple of suggestions for you. We need something scalable. You know, like it is for Burger King. So we need something that Burger King can implement in every single market. And at the same time, we work in advertising, so simplicity is key. We need an idea that common people can understand, and not only scientists. So what if we give chamomile? You know, like chamomile to the cows, in the same way that our grandmas give us chamomile when we have an upset tummy, but for cows. Or we can give them Pepto-Bismol. And when I said Pepto-Bismol, you know, like the scientist completely freaked out, you know, like in his own way. He's very serious. And he said, well, Pepto-Bismol could really kill cows. That's not a good idea. But chamomile is really high in tannins. And high tannins really help cows to digest better. So that's how we started the whole round of experiments. We invested again from our pockets on the experiment to make the point that it could work in front of Fernando. It took like more than 5 months to do it. It's really difficult to explain the whole experiment, but to make it simple, basically, they were feeding cows, different group of cows with different diets, with the regular diet with chamomile, the regular diet with other natural herbs, high in tannins. And then they placed the cows in those chamber rooms that you see on the image to fart and burp as much as they wanted, measure the methane emissions, and then they switched. You know, like they gave chamomile to the ones who were eating the regular diet. The ones who were eating chamomile moved to the group of the other herbs. Farts, burps in the room, measurements, and again, switch, farts, burps, measurements, and again. And that's how we arrived to a very important discovery. In the first place, chamomile didn't work. But in a way, it was somehow the inspiration for Octavio to experiment with lemongrass. And just with 100 grams of lemongrass, which is very affordable, mixed with the regular diet of cows, we saw a 33% of reduction in the methane emissions, which is a lot. So we went back to Fernando right away to present the results to him. He couldn't believe it, that we were like investing and doing that on parallel. And he said, let's do it. But that let's do it happened for real. And we were working for more than 2 years together with the innovation team of Burger King. We validated the results, and we gave the menu for cows to different cows in different markets in Austria, in Ireland, New Zealand, in Brazil, in Mexico, in some markets of the US. And we communicated the whole thing with the help of a music video that we produced with Michel Gondry. The main characters of the video were some little cowboy kids who came out from the ass of a cow singing a song about farts and burps and a better future. The whole production was completely sustainable as possible. The set was built with of course, recyclable, but also biodegradable ingredients and elements. And we didn't even let not even one person and not even the cow in the set to fart at any time to avoid any methane emissions. And finally, let me tell you about the plastic fishing tournament. That's a project that we developed with one of our very best clients ever, Fabio Baracho, and his team, Clarissa Pantoja, Alex Gershberg, and Shune from Corona. You may know the case study from Cannes. Basically, we encouraged fishermen to fish for plastic. But let me give you some more information about this idea, the commitment that AB InBev has behind this project it is huge. It is huge. It's not about the past. It is huge now. They started doing the plastic fishing tournaments in 2021, and they continue doing the plastic fishing tournaments every year in more than 15 markets. To give you an idea of the amount of plastic fishing tournaments, just in China, it happened more than 100 times. The plastic fishing tournament is basically an excuse to connect fishermen with the recycling companies. Why? Because during the events, they teach them how to clean, select, and separate the plastic in order to get a better payment out of what they catch. But at the same time, they stay in contact. So by staying in contact, fishermen have the chance of keep fishing for plastic throughout the year and get an extra source of income by selling it to the recycling companies. In some markets, fishermen fish for plastic throughout the whole year, twice a week, because they get 2 out of 4 times the money that they get when they fish, which is crazy. And the plastic fishing is the only source of income for fishing communities during those seasons where fishing is not allowed. Finally, let me tell you about this that is great. It goes way beyond what we did and way beyond of what AB InBev is doing. The government from 9 different countries decided to sign the Pacific Alliance Agreement to regulate in a legal way the plastic fishing as a formal practice. So I'm not the kind of guy who wants to finish with I'm not the kind of guy who wants to finish with a list of tips for you to grab your phone and take a picture. That's not me. But if there is something that I can say is that if you truly believe in your ideas enough to invest your money, your talent, your time to make it real and not just for cans, just do it because people and good things will follow. And that's Bruno again. Thank you very much.
Gustavo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congratulate new dad.